Warriors, absolute warriors to a man. Manchester, for the third time this season, is and forever will be red. Guys, it's your match review. What a game. What a day. What a match. What a result. What a performance. To a man, from back to front, every man deserves that. As a matter of fact, back to front, subs, manager, coaches, every single person deserves that. Nobody can take that from us. Nobody. You can't talk about decisions. You can't talk about tactics, luck. You can't. Manchester United were far and away the better team. Don't tell me about possession. They said possession is 9/10 of the law. You know what? It's a 9/10. That doesn't even matter. The only thing that matters is the goals. But on top of that, we had the best chances. Name me how many chances City had. There was a shot from Jesus. I'm waiting. I'm struggling. I'm really struggling. We did not give them an inch today. Masterclass. Absolute masterclass. There's been discussion about, Solskjaer's 5 at the back, 3 at the back, whether it's Igalo, James, McTominay, Fred, Matic, Shaw, Williams, all that debate out the window. Because once again, in these big games, Solskjaer and Manchester United turn up. 10 games unbeaten, 8 clean sheets. It's not a fluke. It's not a fluke. It's not a coincidence. We've done it again. We've actually done it again. And I'm not going to lie. I wasn't confident going to this Manchester derby because we don't usually beat City at Old Trafford. We play... As a matter of fact, I think we've only beaten City at Old Trafford once since Pep's joined. And that was... I could be wrong. But that was in the League Cup. We won 1-0. We don't beat Pep at Old Trafford. We really don't. We've got a very good record at Etihad in that same time, but we don't beat them at Old Trafford. But today, perfect performance. People will say, oh yeah, they're missing De Bruyne. They were. But we've been missing Pogba all season. We've been missing Rashford since January. So don't tell me about who you're missing and who you're not missing. We've got people working their way back from injury. We had a day's less rest, played on a Thursday against Derby. A lot of the players that played in that game played today. So I don't want to hear about availability and players and that. Pep was done by Solskjaer again. And I would say 2 out of 3 performances the wins that we done, battered them. Now, I don't mean batter them in terms of, dominant possession, 20 shots, 3-0, 5-0, no. But we were far and away the better side. As it started with the 5 at the back, we had Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Lindelof and Shaw as the left centre-back, and Williams left wing-back, of course, David De Gea in goal. The 2 in the midfield, Matic and Fred. Warriors. Absolute warriors from start to finish. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant performance, especially in the first half. Fernandes, brilliant in the first half again. Decent in the second half. Game kind of passing by as we dropped deeper and deeper, but very, very good. And Martial and Daniel James. And from that, we knew the plan. Obviously, it's going to be sit back, defend your edge of the box, or from the midfield, push, press, and make them go out wide and head everything out. And Maguire and Lindelof did that brilliantly. And he had the 2 strikers, obviously one with express pace in Daniel James, and the other with a good amount of pace, and of course him having the striking ability to score the goals in the kind of split striker role. So both of them drifted a lot to the wide position. And I think Martial, he benefits from that split striker role because I guess he has a tendency to drift to the left anyway. If you are the lone man through the middle, you can't do that. You can't be drifting to the left because you reduce the options in the middle. But when that is your role now, you have the two strikers to do that. And you have Fernandes as the number 10 who can make the attacking position through the middle when the space is there. It's perfect for him, and he was brilliant. Pulled onto Fernandinho a number of times and caused him all kinds of problems. First half, actually before that first half, Daniel James should have, I'm not going to say should have scored, but he should have done better. There was a chance. I think Fernandes slipped him in down the right, and he shot, and he should have shot across the goal. You shoot across the goal, either going to go in, they've got three options. Oh, well, two options. It goes in, or the keeper saves it and pushes it back into a dangerous area. In that area, you had Martial coming at the far post, and I think it was Fernandes coming in down the middle, or at least another midfielder. So you shoot across the goal, you increase your chance of scoring. By shooting at the near post where the keeper already is, you have to take an error to score that goal. And it was straight at the keeper, no goal. Man City didn't create anything. Man City did not create any chances. David De Gea, he had a save from Jesus, as I said, later in the second half. There was a shot from Phil Foden, which he tipped over. But he weren't tested. He weren't tested at all. Then we should have been 1-0 up before we actually were. As I said, Martial pulling onto Fernandinho, muscled him off down the left-hand side. Runs inside the area. Otamendi kind of, is a jockey and stands him up. And he goes for an impossible shot, you would think. Because you're trying to get it round the defender and past Ederson as it was at the near post. When the better and most sensible option, easier option you'd think, you cut that back to Bruno Fernandes in acres of space at the edge of the area. He could arguably even take a touch before, I would say, scoring. Like, from his ability to score goals, I'm in no doubt he will score from that position. At the very least, test the keeper significantly. At the very least, but I expect him to score. But Martial doesn't cut it back. Very, very poor decision from him. But he makes up for it. The two players I just mentioned, they combine. It's a free kick that arguably should have been a free kick. One angle, you can see, I think Otamendi kind of just clips Bruno Fernandes' foot. I don't know if it's enough for a foul, I'm not going to lie. But there is definite contact from one angle. From another angle, it's very hard to see. But from one angle, there's definite contact. He didn't look like he was going to give it initially, then he gave it. Free kick. But, yes, you could argue that about many free kicks. Many free kicks where the referee shouldn't give it. There's a few. There's a Martial free kick in the middle of the area, in the middle of the pitch. Well, sorry, on the halfway line, but closer to the touchline against, can't remember who it was against, might have been Cancelo or someone else. Should never have been a free kick for me. Never been a free kick, but he gives it. So those decisions can be, questioned. They're down to interpretation. But he gives it, and it's definitely one that's been worked on the training ground. Bruno Fernandes, referee blows the whistle. Martial's on the shoulder, on the left-hand side of the box. Bruno Fernandes beautifully dinked ball, quick, slick free kick over the two defenders, Aguero and someone else. Martial makes the run just onside, and Otamendi just played him onside, and he hits it on the volley. Ederson should save it. Ederson, I'm not gonna lie, good connection, decent connection, good ingenuity from the both of them. But Ederson should save it down at his near post, and it squares past him 1-0, but no more than we deserve. That would be the third clear-cut chance we created. And 1-0. And again, City don't create anything. Every time we had opportunity, we broke. I'm not saying Ederson was made to work time and time again, but we looked the more dangerous throughout the whole game. City's danger, or if the feeling of danger, is because they have so much possession. They're always on you, especially in the second half now. We've gone to the second half and we've dropped further deeper, and City have got all the position in our half. But what did they actually create? They didn't really do anything. He made a change, and it was a much needed change, Pep Guardiola. He brought on Mahrez for Bernardo Silva and put Phil Foden into the middle and Bernardo Silva on the right. Mahrez on the right. Phil Foden should never have started on the right because, he's not a winger. He hasn't got the pace to trouble. He didn't trouble Brandon Williams at all. Luke Shaw's there to cover if necessary, and he had an easy game up to that point. I think it was about 60 minutes or so. I mean, at the same time, Jesus came on for Aguero, who had a goal ruled out for offside. It was poor from Man United, to be fair. He beat the, well, it looked like he beat the trap. But the flag went up straight away. But when you look back on the VAR, it's very close. But he beats the trap. Or sorry, he springs away from the centre-backs. And Man United shut off when they see the flag. Brandon Williams stops tracking. De Gea doesn't make a movement to save the ball. And to be fair, we're fortunate it was offside. I think in the end it might have just been his shoulder or so. As I said, the linesman did give it. But in the future, we have to play to the whistle. Not to the flag, you play to the whistle. It's a new game now with VAR. Anyway, yeah, Aguero comes off for Jesus. And they're pressing because they've got a bit more threats, I would say. Mara is a much bigger threat on the right wing than Phil Foden. Phil Foden looks better in the middle than he does out wide. You know, there's a bit more work to do for the likes of Williams and Shaw. And then, of course, Matic and Fred. But before we even get there, Fred, we should have had a penalty. Now, for me, it's a penalty. Fred goes in the first half. Fred goes through. James gives it to him on the edge of the area. He comes inside and ultimately just kicks him. Now, it's not a massive kick. One angle, it looks like a dive, and that's the angle that Mike Dean's probably at. But from the other angle, you see the contact. Mike Dean doesn't give the penalty. You might say one thing, cool. Made the wrong decision, but you didn't give it. But then he books him for diving, which says to me that you don't think there was any contact. You think he either he initiated the contact or there was no contact and he just dived, he simulated. VAR shows that there was contact. It wasn't simulation from Fred. What do you do? Is it enough? Is it a clear and obvious error? Did that contact impede him, send him down? Is it enough to overturn the decision? It's definitely not a yellow card. But can you then overturn the yellow card without giving the penalty? For me, it's a penalty. It should have been given. Should VAR have overturned it? It's a tough one. But it should have been a penalty. That's the bottom line for me. So we could easily have gone into game 2-0. Some would say, you know, the first goal that we scored, that was never a free kick. But as I said, a free kick is it's incidental. It's outside the area. It wasn't even from a shooting position. We created something from that free kick. But anyway, we go into half-time 1-0. Second half, you know, I said made the substitutions, etc. And then Solskjaer has to react, and he brings on. Who did he bring? Bring on Bailly. He brings on Bailly for Williams and puts Shaw out wide. Shaw had a brilliant game, by the way. That's what everyone did. Everyone really had a brilliant game. You know, Williams, he had a comfortable game, I would say. Daniel James was a threat without always making the right decisions. To be fair, same could be said with Marshall at times, but yeah, he was a threat all game, and that's why he lasted 90 minutes, because he was always a threat in behind. And Man City couldn't just, like, you know, completely pepper us, bring everyone into attacking positions, because Daniel James is always a threat, and Solskjaer was right for me to keep him on. You know, he needs to improve those decision makings, but Solskjaer was right to keep him on. We brought on Bailly, and we brought on McTominay for for Brandon Williams and Martial. And I'm not gonna lie, that Martial decision, I was a bit worried, because I'm thinking, who's gonna hold up the ball? Now, to be fair, at the time, nobody was holding up the ball, and the midfield was being overran. We brought in McTominay, and it brought a bit of more control and bodies into the midfield. But an issue in the second half was that the ball just kept coming back, because neither Martial or James were holding up the ball and relieving our defence of the pressure. So I'm thinking, if you bring off Martial, you're trying to create that opportunity to, you know, to hold up the ball and, as I said, relieve our defence. But putting James through the middle is definitely the complete opposite. He hasn't got that skill at all, which is fine, but he hasn't got that skill. But you bring that body into the midfield, and I said we were comfortable. Jesus had one chance, David Gea saved that, down to his left, and it was cleared, and the defenders were just everything. Maguire, majestic beast. Lindelof, very, very composed again. Aaron Wan-Bissaka didn't give Sterling a sniff. Didn't give him a sniff. Only when Sterling came inside into the middle. You know, he created a chance for Aguero that was offside. There was a ball that fizzed across the area that he got a stud on, but it wasn't enough to turn it in. That was the only time when Sterling was a threat. He had a shot from outside the box that just kind of dribbled through to David De Gea. No real power. From the wide positions, Wan-Bissaka had him in his pocket again. Not for the first time this season. And I'm sure it won't be for the last. And then we brought on Igalo for Bruno Fernandes, which I think was the right decision. Before that, however, there was another opportunity for us to make it 2-0 to cut back to Bruno Fernandes. Ball is released down the right-hand side. Could have been Maguire, I'm not 100% sure. And Daniel James running. Beats his man, I think it was Otamendi. Otamendi's on a yellow card by now. Beats his man. And he has to cut it back. He had an opportunity to cut it back before he beat Otamendi, but he didn't. He got past Otamendi. He has to cut it back to Bruno Fernandes. Acres of space at the edge of, or just inside the area. A first-time shot from Bruno Fernandes, definitely getting on target, probably scoring. And you're thinking, why does nobody want to cut it back to Bruno? Martial in the first half, Daniel James in the second half, opportunities to win the game. Solskjaer was livid. Absolutely livid. I was livid as well. I'm screaming, cut it back, cut it back. Doesn't cut it back. And the game goes on. Another opportunity. Daniel James running away, shrugs off whoever his marker was in the middle, keeps going. And he should just release Bruno Fernandes. It's him and Bruno running against kind of the City defender behind Bruno. And Daniel James running at one. I can't remember, maybe Otamendi, I can't remember. All he has to do is slip it into Bruno, and he has an opportunity to shoot. He doesn't. In the end, when he passes it, he's offside. And you're thinking, we're having the chances. Are we now we've had enough chances to get the second, enough chances to score more, and we're not taking them. Are we going to give City the opportunity? But as I said, they didn't create anything. They didn't create anything in this game. So credit goes out to the defence and the tactics and how we stifle them. David De Gea was very, very comfortable. Got a few punches from the crosses and catches and comfortable, long range shots to deal with, but he wasn't really tested. Good game from him and the defenders. And then, as I said, we brought in Igalo, and Igalo was brilliant. This man is just a proper striker. Ball comes in with his high, and it's dropping with it comes directly to his feet, his chest. The man just traps it, lays it off. He's just brilliant. That is what should have been brought on for me when Martial came off. I know we won the game in the end, and McTominay had an extra body in the midfield. He did well, but in terms of relieving that pressure, Igalo does that. The ball comes in, he traps it, holds it up. You waste time, you give everyone a breather, and you potentially create an opportunity to attack and score. I think for the goal, actually, he holds it up, lays it off to Fred, I believe it was, and Fred makes it's actually a poor pass to be fair, but goes trying to find Daniel James. It goes straight through to Ederson. For me, he should have gone down the line. You're in the 94th minute, 95 minutes of 5 minutes of added time, so you got about a minute left. You probably should, if you're not going to get a perfect pass, which he didn't, you don't pass it straight into the area. You go wide, maybe waste a bit more time into the corner. It went straight to Ederson. Ederson then gets it and bowls it out to, he tried to find, I think it's probably Mendy on his left wing. McTominay intercepts it, and first time shot into the empty net. Very, very good goal, to be fair. I know it's an open goal, but it was from a distance. 2-0. 2-0. Game over. And deserved. This game was more important for us, bigger for us for the season than Man City. But don't get it twisted, Man City wanted this, the fans wanted this, Pep wanted this. But we need it for top four. The title for City is gone. Top four is already secured. Their main, targets are cup competitions, FA Cup, Champions League, of course, at the top. But don't get it twisted, they want to win this game. I know they've got a game on midweek, and that may excuse why he didn't start Mahrez, for example. That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know the reason for it. But it's no excuse. Which is the better side. Deserved it. Man of the match, it's so hard. Daniel James was going all game. Bruno Fernandes' first half was brilliant. Martial got the goal, did well. Maguire, rock. Matic, Fred, Warriors in the middle. Luke Shaw, brilliant. I don't know. I can't give it. Let me know who your man of the match is, because maybe Matic. Because first half he was very good, and he was very much involved in the second half. Bruno Fernandes, very good in the first half, not involved in the second half. More through tactics than fault of his own. Should have been on the score sheet at least once, either from a penalty or 2 cutbacks that never happened. But he got the assist, brilliant assist. Martial did well. Probably just give it to Matic, but to be honest, throw a blanket. I don't care, give it to anyone who you want. We were brilliant. And after Chelsea winning 4-0 against Everton, Arsenal won, Spurs drew, did Wolves win? Or did they draw? I can't remember now. Sheffield United won. This was a must win. It really was. I know, and it's a game that you can't guarantee you're going to win, but it was a must win. And we did it, man. We did it. 3 points still off 4th, and momentum's building. As I said, 10 games unbeaten, 8 clean sheets, all competitions. The momentum is there. Next up, who we got next up? Could be is it? Oh, it might be Europa League actually, against Lask. Lask away on Thursday. I'm hoping we play a weakish team, because we've got Spurs on the Sunday at White Hart Lane. That's what I'm calling it. Both games here we need to win, and the sooner we can kind of end the tie, the better. But I want us to rest certain players for that last game. Make sure we're strong against Spurs, because then we've got the home tie against Lask. Even if something don't go perfectly well in Lask, we should be able to dispose of them at Old Trafford. Spurs away. And then, to be honest, the toughest game after that in the league is Leicester. We've got, think about this, Spurs away. It's just the Premier League. Brighton away, should be winning that. Bournemouth at home, should be winning that. Aston Villa away, should be winning that. Southampton at home, should be winning that. Palace away, should be winning that. West Ham at home, should be winning that. Leicester away, final game of the season. That ain't going to be easy. That ain't going to be easy. That could go anyway. But if we can listen, I know it's a big if. And they're going to be FA Cup, there's going to be Europa League in between all of that if we get further. So it's going to make it a bit more difficult. But I'm looking to, we haven't lost in the league since Burnley, 22nd of January. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. 5 games unbeaten. After that Spurs game, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want 7. 7 games at the end of the season. We should be unbeaten in 6. At least of 6 of those 7 after Spurs. The Leicester game is going to be tough. If we can win those games, and I say it's a if. Top 4 should be us. 3 points behind Chelsea. I expect Chelsea to drop points. Like, you can't, I don't expect them to pick up as much points as us between that period. Yeah, they've got Aston Villa away. Then they've got Leicester away. West Ham away is not going to be easy for them. Chelsea, Watford at home. Oh, sorry, Leicester away is in the FA Cup. So, sorry, they got Aston Villa away. Should win that. West Ham away, not going to be easy. Watford at home should win that. Palace away should win that. Sheffield United away, not going to be easy. Norwich at home should win that. Liverpool away, second to last game of the season. I don't think they'll win, but Liverpool won't need to win at that stage. And depending on where they're in the cup competitions, there may be some resting. And Wolves at home, last game of the season, not going to be easy. Chelsea could easily drop games drop points in 3 games this season. Liverpool, Wolves, and West Ham away. Really and truly, we should only be dropping points in 2. We're 3 points behind. We capitalise on one of those games that they drop points on. Hopefully lose. We go above them on goal difference. We need to be matching Chelsea's results every single week. And playing on the Thursday, on the Europa League, we should be playing after them every week. Should be. I don't know for sure. We need to match, at minimum, match Chelsea's result every game other than one. Listen, we're right in the mix. We are right in the mix. It's not in our hands, no. But if we do what we need to do, I think we'll get it. Still a long way to go, but I think this result could really prove to be a catalyst. It really could. Last next, Spurs, and then it's full steam ahead. Guys, hit the like and subscribe button, share the video, let me know your thoughts on this Manchester derby and the race for top 4.